Hello, I'm David and welcome to Leisure Bit, and today we're going to be having a look at a table leg, table tripod and various tabletops and how you can switch them over. So let's take a look. So I got these, I got the actual table leg system as a recommendation by the CV Owners group. I'll pop a link in the description below because it's a really fantastic group with loads of clever people that know everything about CV vans and very friendly, can ask a question and that sort of thing. And this was a fair while ago before I got the van, but I got it actually from a company called Chippy's Workshop actually. And you can buy different systems there, but I actually went for the table leg and the tripod base from it. So we'll just go through in terms of the different parts that make up this first of all. So let's start by having a look at the base. So this is basically a tripod base and it's got 3 feet on it, and you fix the fastening to the leg system, which we'll cover off in a moment, just here in the middle. It didn't come attached, but I believe when you request it, they'll attach it for you. And how it works is the leg system fits into this like so, and then you just screw that down to make it nice and tight, and that forms the base of the table system. There we go, nice and tight now, as you can see. Swing that around. And you can just fix these into the floor directly, but I wanted a bit of flexibility to move it around, so we'll pop that down here, but you could move it anywhere you wanted in the van. The leg system, here I went for the 29-inch one. They do them in 27 and 29-inch, just to make sure there's plenty of clearance, just so you lift it up a little bit if you're eating or putting things on it. So it's worth just double checking which size works best for you. The original table that comes with the van, which is this, had fold up legs on it. The only trouble was it was down too low, so you'd end up knocking it getting in and out. So what I've done here is, you can see the holes from where it was originally fitted with the legs. What I've done here is I've fixed one of these tabletop mounting pieces. Now you can buy those separately onto this table, and then just to show you, just move that along, we can just pop that on the top, and there we go. We've got a really handy table there with plenty of room to get in, eat your dinner off or whatever you want to do with it. Move it back there, and to remove the tabletop it's quite easy. You just rock it a little bit and then it comes off like so. But it's reasonably sturdy when it's on, which is good, so you've not got things moving around. Just make sure the bottom of the leg's fastened in. So before we go any further, let's just run through how much things cost for this. So the base tripod, let's have a look at it again, which is this bit, excluding the fittings here. So the base itself work out about £15. The leg, this bottom bracket, all the fittings there and the bit that fits in the top, works out about £70, but obviously you can switch different tabletops around with that, and you can get the bracket for the table for about, I think it's either £10 or £15 to fit on each tabletop, so you can switch them around. So you could either have, I'm just going to have one leg. If I want to move it outside, I'll move it outside. There is an alternate system that has a tripod, which fits rather than having this base, and but that one's about £60 for the tripod, but it doesn't, then you don't need these extra bits, it just fits straight into the base of it, so this screws straight in, then that tightens up. And the second tabletop I got is this one, a round one, and I got this one from Chippy's Workshop, but I think you can pick these up in different places, because as long as you've got the fittings to fit onto this tabletop, then you're away. And there we go, there's the round table, so it doesn't quite take up as much room as the square table which I adapted from the original. And you can tuck it right back here out the way. You can put it up the front if you want to put it up the front, so wherever you want to have it, but that's quite handy. You can eat a meal off there, no problem, and it's a little bit easier to get in and out and not as spaced round, but it's obviously round there. So that's my second tabletop, so we'll take that one off. And the final one, those of you with a CV van will probably recognise this, which is the board that covers the sink. I think some folks call it a chopping board, but it seems to be more of a worktop extension, because imagine if you start chopping anything on it, it wouldn't last too long. And what I've done there is I've put another one of these bases on it to make just a little drinks table, which is a just handy size. And with the little cutout at the back, if you noticed, I've offset where I've screwed it in. That just bobs on there, like so. You can push that right back, and then you can get a couple of drinks on, no problem. You can get your phone on and other bits and pieces on, little snack or whatever. And you can leave that up at night, and we tended not to knock it, because it's in the middle if you don't pull the beds across, obviously, which makes that really handy table then, just as a little bit of a night table. So that's the reason I haven't actually fixed directly to the floor with it, because then you can move it around. Can also take this up at the front if I want and pop it up the front and use it as a little table, or again with the other tops on as well. But what I've actually done is I've replaced the chopping board with it, and this fits perfectly over the sink, and it is a chopping board as such, so you could chop on there, and a heck of a lot cheaper if you do happen to damage it, but it fits absolutely perfectly. Again, this one was from the CV group, and it was a must-have one of those items. The other piece just to call out as well is you can leave this on top of the sink if you wish when you're driving along, because if you had to stop suddenly and it came dislodged, you'd probably get a whack off it. But I think this, you know, it's quite, if that hits you at any speed, that's going to either really hurt or do some serious damage. Whereas this, I don't see it causing so much of an issue, because it's fairly lightweight, as you can probably see there. Just winging it around there, you can see there's not much weight in it, but it is solid enough to cover, and it fits perfectly in the sink. I'll just give you a quick shot of that now. So that then replaces the need to have that, and then that becomes a super handy little table. So that's the various tabletops you can fit on there. I tend to use this one if I want to set my laptop up. I'll give you a quick look at that now. So there's loads of room on this one if you want to work on your laptop or anything like that. You can adjust around, but bring it close to you, further away, swizzle it a little bit if you need to, just to get the right angle, but still gives plenty of space and a good solid table. That one's mounted dead in the middle of that, just for balance, but nice and solid. You're not worrying about it falling over or anything like that. And again, you could use it outside if you wanted to, preferably in the summer, not today when it's raining. So there we go. That's the tabletops. This one stores in its original place behind the driver's seat. This one I'll leave on and then just fold it down and just leave it in the back of the van and put the tripod to the rear, and then just have it facing down over that way. And I normally put my duvet and that sort of thing in there, so everything stays nice and solid if you drop it behind, because there's nowhere for it to go. And this one I've mounted just above the other one, on the just behind the driver's seat, so all stores nice and neatly, and you can just pull the one out you need when you want to use it. So there you go, there's the table system. You can get hold of them from Chippy's workshop, and if you want to do like I've done and have a number of different choices, you could obviously get away with just this. I think perfect combinations, just this and that, but the round one I'd already bought, and it does use less space if you want to have a meal or something like that for two of you, you can work round that. I think you'd probably just about get away with having a meal for four on this one, but again, you've not got the problem of leg room, and it's not too high either. But each to their own preference. You could adjust the leg if you wanted to, but it involved cutting and things like that. But it was pretty straightforward to put together. You just literally put in screws in. Tip for you, make sure you get screws that aren't too long, because you don't want them coming out of your tabletop, but you want just enough in to give a good tight grip. They also sell screws as well for that, and recommend the stainless steel ones just to make sure nothing rusts in. But again, just check your thickness before screwing anything through. And same tip as on previous videos, when you're tightening them up, it's best to use a manual screwdriver and just do a little pilot hole, just a very small, just to start it off so it doesn't pull the wood. But pretty straightforward, just basic drilling stuff that. So there we go. I hope you found that useful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!